Hello there. Yesterday I played the third round in the Lichess Lone Wolf tournament, and I played as white this time, and I want to show you this game. And in case if you are wondering, yes, I did use my brand new chess set to play this game, to make moves. So if you are interested, this is how it looks like. Okay, let's get now right to the game. So I was white here, and this is an under 1800 tournament, so most of the opponents will be lower rated than me because I'm close to 1800. So I started the game with e4 as I usually do. He responded with e5, knight f3, usual move, and d6. So he went for the Philidor defense, and I don't know why people play Philidor. I guess they do have their own reasons, but in my experience, I always feel very comfortable as white when playing Philidor. So usually it ends up with me having all my pieces developed very fast. I usually castle queenside, and I feel very comfortable. So this is some kind of setup. I just put all my pieces out, castle queenside, and I have very active play. But okay, it's too early at this point to predict anything, so I just played d4, so right in the center. I think this is the best way to go. If you can play d4 without any major consequences, you should do it. And now he played f5, and this is the first time I saw this move. It's a very unusual move, and engine says this is a blunder. It gives double question mark here, and immediately it gives me plus 2.5. So I guess this is not the good move in this position, but well, nevertheless it took me out of the book and a little bit out of the balance. So I spent quite some time thinking about this, and I think this is the right approach. When you encounter the move you've never seen before, even if it looks like a very bad move, you should take your time. So if you look at my time here, you can see that I took almost 3 minutes to play knight c3. So I just wanted to check and double check if there are no threats connected with this move. So maybe this move is objectively bad, but there is a trap in which you can easily fall. And I decided there is no trap, and I played knight c3 here. The book and the engine says the more active move is bishop c4, and there can be some tricks related. So if I would have played bishop c4, now this pawn is free, it's unprotected, so he can take it, and if he does take it, I can just take the e5 pawn. And he cannot recapture my knight because he will come into this check. And now, well, I give a check, and if he blocks it, I just take e5 pawn with the double attack on a king and the rook. So this is the typical idea how to exploit this diagonal. So if black moves his f pawn too early, and John Bartholomew would say that f stands for a forget about it pawn. So don't move the f pawn, especially if you are black, especially early in the game. And then the typical way to exploit it is to give the check on h5 with exactly with the idea to come to e5 and grab the rook. So this is very typical idea. Okay, so this will be one line I just decided to develop, and I don't see nothing wrong with this move. He takes d4 now. Okay, he took the pawn, and now I took with the queen. And the engine says it's better to take with knight here, but this is what I usually do in Philidor. So the idea is to get your queen centralized, and then if this queen is attacked, you can just parry this attack by developing another piece. And this is why this Philidor defense gives white the opportunity of very fast development. So I took with the queen, knowing this. He played knight c6, so harassing my queen. Okay, natural move, and I played bishop b5, and now his knight is pinned, and he obviously cannot take the queen. If you would block this pin, I wouldn't retreat my queen. I would just take the knight. and I will keep my queen in the center, and this queen here in the center is pretty much unassailable. Okay, he played the knight e7 here. Okay, so he's developing the knight and also covering this knight. So if I now take, for example, this knight, he can recapture with his knight, and still my queen will be attacked. Bishop g5. Now I'm pinning his knight, so you can see that both knights are pinned now. And if you know the famous opera game from Paul Morphy, this constellation of bishops and with both knights pinned is something which appears in that game as well. Okay, so he now played the bishop d7, and now this attack on the queen becomes real. And I cannot take the knight. I mean, I can, but it doesn't make any sense, because then he would just take back with his knight, and this knight is pinned, but this is not absolute pin, so I can just play this. So he can take with this knight, and now, well, I can take queen, and then he can take back my queen. I can take knight, he can take my knight. So I don't see the point. So everything would get exchanged, and I don't want. I'm white, I play for the initiative, I don't want to exchange all my pieces, queens and minor pieces and everything. So in this position I just retreated on d2. So my queen is still active, it's developed, and I'm preparing to castle queenside. He played h6, so now he's in the phase of kicking my pieces back. So my pieces are very active, my bishops are far away, my knights are developed, my queen is developed, and soon my rooks will also get into the play. So he wants to kick away my pieces, and I think this is a good strategy. Here I just retreated my bishop to bishop e3, and now he plays a6, so kicking away my other bishop. So okay, I retreat my bishop to c4 here. Computer thinks that d3 is the better place for bishop, but I don't see why, because bishop on d3 would just block my d file, and bishop on c4 is very active because it's put on this diagonal, which is weak in the black camp. So due to his f4 move and moving his f pawn, he weakened this diagonal, and now my bishop is on this diagonal. So I like this move, although computer doesn't think this is the best. This is the best move. Okay, now he played knight g6, so now he's making pressure of this e5 square. I cannot push my pawn, and well, I guess a computer doesn't like this move very much, but I guess this knight is more active on g6 than on here on e7, and also he has some prospections to move forward maybe. I now played queen d5. This move involves a trick. Maybe it's not the best move, because okay, so the threat is checkmate here, obviously, and it also attacks the pawn. So there is only one move which can defend both f7 and f5, and this is just to play queen f6. And I saw this, and well, secretly I was hoping that he will not find this move, but it's a silly hope because this move is obvious. But anyway, I thought it will be nice to have a queen in the center of the board, making pressure of f5 pawn. So even if he does find this move, and he did, and I thought that he will find it, I think still this queen is nice here. I have this battery, I'm making several pressures, so okay. He played queen f6, I now castle long, so I now have this d file under control, let's say, and you can also notice that this bishop is poorly defended. So for example, if he would move his d pawn, then I have an attack on discard attack on this bishop. So okay, he also had castled long. Well, what else can he do? The engine says this was a blunder. He gives double question mark, but well, he ruined his pawn structure on the king side. So if you compare the pawn structures, I think his queen side is safer. But computer doesn't like this because computer sees one combination which involves the piece sacrifice. So in this position, I thought that all my pieces are very well placed, so I just wanted to improve my position. There are two ways to improve the position if I would not play any active moves. So one way is to centralize my rook, and another is to put my king to safety. So I decided just to put my king to safety. And computer thinks this is blunder because he saw this combination. So instead of moving my king and improving the position, computer says I should have thought about sacrificing the bishop. So bishop takes a6, b takes a6, for example, and now queen c4, attacking this pawn. He has to defend it. Knight d5, attacking the queen. He has to move the queen. Then I can take the pawn and attack the queen. He has to take, and knight d4, and now I have very active attack on the king side. So this kind of move, you see, I'm supposed to sacrifice a piece without any real and immediate compensation. So I don't get like 3 pawns for a piece, or I don't get my piece back in this combination. I don't see any immediate checkmate or winning the material. So this is sacrifice for a strong attack, let's say. And I don't do this kind of things if I'm playing long games. So if this was a blitz, maybe I would have considered this move. But in the long game with so many pieces on the board, I'm not sure that I will be able to realize this attack to the end, and there is always a chance that my opponent will defend, and then I will just be left one piece down. So this is why I didn't even consider this move. So in this position, I just improved my position by playing king b1. He played rook e8, so now he wants to get some activity on the e file, and also he's now attacking my pawn. And you can see that now he attacks my pawn twice, and this pawn is also defended twice. But I thought that this queen is a little bit exposed here, and maybe it can be kicked away. And if this queen is kicked away, then I lose the defender of this pawn, and he can cash in the pawn. So I was afraid of something like this. Although this particular move would block his rook, and then this pawn would no longer be attacked twice. But okay, I just wanted to be comfortable, so I didn't want to have the liability in the position, and I took e takes f5. Just to mention, at this point, the computer says it's equal, so the evaluation position is 0.0. Although it looks like I'm more active, but okay, engine has its own reasons. And another thing you can see at my time management. So I'm taking much of my time. The reason for this is, well, partially I was a little bit out of focus, and I had a bad night. I didn't sleep very well, so I find it difficult to concentrate on the game, and this is why I took more time to make blunder checks, because I didn't feel that I was seeing clearly the board. So you can see that he has almost 20 minutes, I have 10 minutes, and this is move 14. So on move 14 I spent 2/3 of my time, and this is not a good time management, but okay, it is how it is. So now he took with his bishop, which is a logical move, although computer thinks that knight g to e7 is much stronger move, so attacking both queen and the pawn. But this move is not very easy to find, and this is logical. So this bishop was doing nothing here. It was locked up. Now it's an active bishop, so I cannot complain about this move from my opponent. I now played rook to e1. Again, computer thinks that I should have considered this sacrifice, but okay, I didn't consider it, so I just centralized my rooks. Bishop e6 now. He wants to exchange bishops. we both have very active light square bishops, so I don't I'm not sure who benefits from this exchange, but anyway. So I naturally moved my queen away. He took the bishop, I took back, and now he played knight to e5. So he wants obviously to exchange knights. Now he's attacking my knight and my queen. I have to take because this knight is now attacked twice. So I had to take, and now he took with the rook. And Engine says this is a blunder, and I was also very surprised by this move. So he could take with pawn, with queen, with knight, but he decided to take with rook. And I think the taking with knight will be the strongest move here, because it comes with tempo on the queen, and also it centralizes his knight, and the knight in the center is very powerful. So I was expecting this, but he took with the rook, and immediately I saw that rook and queen are on the same diagonal, and I was thinking about this skewer here. But I cannot play this immediately, of course, because he would just take with his knight. So I was thinking how to be able to play this move, and I found this move. So knight to d5. Okay, now obviously he will move this queen, so I will not have this skewer here, but this move accomplishes that this knight cannot be moved away, because if this knight would be removed, then I can just deliver checkmate here on c7. So he has now to move his queen, and he decided to play queen e6 here. And well, the better move would be to play queen this d8 maybe. This makes a queen a little bit passive, but it protects this c7 square for future, and it activates the knight. So he plays queen e6 here, and now I started to calculate, and this is the reason for the name of this video. So it's not enough to calculate, you need to actually play the moves you calculated. So my calculation went like this. First of all, I realized that this queen is protected only by the rook. If this rook would be somehow removed, then I could deliver check with my knight and then pick up the queen, if this queen would be undefended. So this was the motive, tactical motive I saw. So I was thinking how to kick away this rook, and the most natural way is just to play f4. And so after f4, if he moves his rook somewhere along the 5th rank, then I have this combination. I give check and I take the queen. Okay, so he's not allowed to play this along the 5th rank. So what else can he do? Well, he can move to e4 and keep defending this queen. But then, since this knight cannot be moved due to the checkmate threat, I can just play the rook to d4, and in this scenario he's losing the rook, because this rook is attacked twice. Here it cannot be defended, and this knight cannot move, so I'm winning a rook here, or at least the exchange. He can always take the knight and give away the exchange. Okay, so this was my calculation. So I played this f4. He found the move rook e4 here, although given that I have rook to d4, he should have just given away the exchange. And now, according to my calculation, before I played f4, was just to play a rook to d4. And somehow I got distracted at this moment, and I wanted to play rook d4, and I saw, oh, but then he can take with my knight. And I completely forgotten that all the time the main feature of this position is that this knight cannot be moved. I just forgot it for a moment, and I saw, okay, rook to d4, but okay, he can take with my knight, so I'll just remove my queen. And I moved my queen to c3. And right after I made this move, maybe 2 seconds after I made this move, I saw, oh, but yes, this knight is unmovable, I should have played d4. And I got very upset and very frustrated. Of course, having 3 minutes on the clock didn't help. I was under a bit of pressure. But anyway, I got very frustrated and upset here. And there is this psychological moment that Heisman often speaks about, and he says, don't cry over the spilled milk. So this is something chess players tend to do, and I also tend to do very much. So when you miss a move, so 2 seconds after I made this move, I saw that I had a winning move and I didn't play this. This can be very frustrating, and then there is a danger that you don't participate in the rest of the game mentally in full, and you rather get back to this position, and you are thinking about this, and you are punishing yourself in your head. Oh well, how stupid am I? Why didn't I play this? This game could have been over if I only played this, and I saw this, and how did it happen? And so you mentally stay focused on the missed opportunity, and then you usually make a mistake in the position, because the game goes on. You cannot turn back the time, and to think about your missed chances can only be destructive. So first of all, I got upset, and I was thinking, oh, how stupid am I? I even went back with my arrows on the board and looking at the position, and I don't know, reprimating myself. How can I miss this? Even if I did calculate this move before and everything, but then I remember this. Then Heisman, don't cry over the spilled milk, and I just said to myself, okay, you cannot take the time back. It is what it is. The position is in front of you. You have to do your best in the given position. I didn't make a blunder. I didn't lose material. So the game goes on. I have a better position, especially if you look at this position, you can see that his bishop and his rook are completely out of play. So I'm basically playing 2 pieces up. So I still have a better position, and I will get my chance. So I managed to cool myself down and to continue the game. So now he played rook to g8. I guess he was afraid of me making this battery and then attack his g7 pawn, so he wanted to overprotect this pawn. Okay, I now played bishop f2, so I wanted to open a position a little bit. I offered the exchange, and he played g5, which is... I can understand this move, so he probably wants to fianchetto his bishop and with tempo on my queen, so it makes sense from that side. But from the other side, there is a rule of thumb in chess that you don't want to play on the side in which you are weaker. So if you look at this position, I'm obviously stronger on king side, so I have a pawn majority here. My knight is near, my queen is looking at this side, my bishop is participating. So maybe it's not the best idea to play on this side of the board. But okay, I understand the motivation, and he wants to develop his bishop, and maybe if he takes this pawn, then he will activate his rook in the future. So I understand that he wanted to solve the problem of these 2 pieces which are not participating in the game. But there is also another tactical feature in this position, and this is the fork. So knight can come here and fork, for example, both rooks, and the knight is protected by the queen. So by playing g5, he just blundered this fork. I could have played the fork here immediately, but well, when you see that you can win material, then you want to exchange. This is the rule of thumb when you up the material exchange, but also when you participate that you will be up in the material, then you can start exchanging even before. So I participated that I will be up the material, so I wanted to exchange. So I took the rook, he took with his queen, and then I played the knight f6, now forking queen and the rook. So you can see that, okay, so you can say this is a blunder, he didn't see this fork, but the truth is that I did have a better position, my pieces were more active. So still, for example, in this position, still this knight cannot be moved. because of this checkmate threat. This bishop is completely locked. This rook doesn't do anything. So you can see when you have more active pieces, when you have better control of the center, when you have all these positional advantages, then the tactical opportunity will come sooner or later. So I had one tactical opportunity here before, so in this move which I missed. So this was one tactical opportunity to win the game on the spot. I missed this, but still I have a more active position, and well, it was just a question of time until the next tactical opportunity arises, and this was it. And well, now he played queen e2. He had to move his queen. I expected something more like to take the g2 pawn, and if I take the rook, then he can take the bishop. Now he's down the exchange, but he did manage to win the pawn. But in this position, I'll probably put my queen here, and now I don't see a good way how can he defend this bishop. Maybe something like this. I'm not sure. Anyway, I was expecting that he would just take my pawn and then my bishop, but he played queen e2, and the computer also thinks this is the best move here. But well, the evaluation is plus 5.8 here, so almost plus 6. So this is obviously winning position for me. So rook e1, I attacked his queen, and also I tried to deliver this check. And this check looks very dangerous, almost like a checkmate, because this square is covered by my knight. So if this knight wasn't here to block the check, this would be a checkmate. So I guess he was afraid of this checkmate. Maybe he didn't see that he can block this, and he just sacrificed his queen. And I took the queen back, and he resigned here. So this was the end of the game. But let's just analyze. So what could he do here? Well, he could have just take the bishop, and I have several continuations here. I can deliver check, and then maybe put my queen here, or I can even just take the rook, and then later deliver check and put my queen in the attack, depending on where his queen is. So I could maybe make a window for my king just to avoid back rank mate, and then I can bring all my pieces to the attack of the exposed king. So anyway, okay, he took with his queen, I took back, and he resigned. Okay, so this was it for the third round. I did manage to score 1 point. In the post-mortem, I see that my time management was not good. I was too slow. I was a little bit defocused and deconcentrated. And you can see this by the fact that I didn't play the move which I have calculated, rook d4 here. But overall, okay, he did play it passively. He played Philidor defense. He never managed to develop his pieces. So you can see this bishop on f8 never got the chance to even be played with. So I had a better position, and I was just basically waiting for a tactical opportunity to arise. When I analyze this with an engine, the engine says that I have, I think, 4 blunders in the game, so I missed several opportunities, and this could have been played better from my side. So, but okay, this is a win, and I cannot be unsatisfied with winning the game. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click the like button, leave the comment below, subscribe to my channel. If you didn't share the video, whatever you think is the best. See you very soon. Cheers.